The 100 Season 2 Episode 3 Repercussions. I definitely love this episode. I thought it was a really good one. Based on the preview, I'm really excited for next week's episode as well. But I think this one had a lot of great plot points to it that introduced some really interesting stuff. One of the biggest things, or possibly the biggest thing they introduced, is what this weird Cerberus program is. And we find out that, of course, it's one of the main people. So Lincoln is the one who is selected out of those group of people. But I had so many questions, like, were those people, because the first thing I thought was when they were, after they showed the people in the bunkers injecting the Reapers, I thought they basically injected them and somehow they cured them or something, and they basically just made them strong. And then I realized those are just the people that they kidnapped, but for whatever reason they are injecting them with something. So I don't know what it is inside that little vial that they shot into the Reaper's necks. I don't know what in the world that does for them. And maybe it does change them chemically somehow. It changes their body so that they can put them into like the harvest program and use their blood in order to heal them. And we got a bit of an explanation for the guy who had the burns on his face. And it makes much more sense because in that episode I was very confused. Like, how does this guy have burns that get healed by grounder blood? That doesn't make sense to me. But they were radiation burns, and it's still a little bit fantasy-like, but it makes much more sense rather than he just got like torched somehow. He was set on fire, and then grounder blood healed him or something. It was chemical burns, like from the radiation, so it made a lot more sense. But it's still far beyond what would really happen in real life. At least I assume. I don't think you can actually just be like, yeah, I'm strong to radiation, here's my blood, and then it just heals me. I don't really know science like that, so I could easily be wrong. This could be 100% true. But they're doing some crazy stuff. They had the people in the harvest program. We got introduced to this weird Cerberus program, which of course we're going to get to see more of. I feel like since Lincoln is the one who's going to be in the Cerberus program, we're going to get to see him actually interact with Monty and Jasper, who in this episode are trying to figure out what happened to Clarke, especially Monty. Jasper is getting a little bit closer to Maya, and they kind of use her as their inside source because Jasper and Maya have a connection. And that was another question that came up. Does she really know that Clarke was basically dumped after she was trying to escape with Anya? Or is she being lied to as well? Because I could understand easily enough that the higher up people don't tell the, I guess, everyday people who are just eating and doing like minimal things like janitor type work. I could easily see those people saying, oh yeah, she's just here for a couple of days because she kind of just freaked out. So, that's the story they made up. And I don't know if Maya's high enough on the chain. And she's younger, which is the only thing that really makes me believe that she knows just as little as Monty and Jasper do. Only because she's younger. Because if she was an adult, because it seems like she has a lot of access now, if she was an adult, I feel like she would be out there like how the people were injecting the Reapers and stuff. She'd be one of those people. She'd have a really high rank, which she basically does now. And over time, I'm guessing, considering her age, she doesn't know every little secret just yet, but she'll learn them over time. So that's the only thing that kind of makes me trust her at this point, is that she's younger, so they probably haven't told her every little secret, so even she's probably being lied to about the stuff with Clarke. So I have a little bit of faith that she was actually trying to help them out and she's being lied to as well. I'm hoping she doesn't know the secret, because then it's like, I gotta hate you too now because you're like hiding stuff. So I'm hoping that she's being kept out of the loop as well, because that kind of just gives us another character that we can trust, and really the only character inside the bunker that we can actually trust. So hopefully that's the role that they play with Maya, because of course you can't really trust anyone else we've seen, which has mostly been the doctor who is at the end of this episode, as well as the actual president of the people inside the bunker. But they've got some crazy stuff going on. They hunted down Clarke, and of course she escaped with Anya. They both barely made it out alive with the Reapers, because the Reapers come in and basically just collect all the bodies that the I guess mountain men dump down this little chute. And it's sort of a weird system. They dump these bodies once they've drained them enough, and the Reapers kind of come in like, alright, well, this guy's still alive enough, this girl's still alive enough, this person's been dead a little too long, so we won't cook them. And it's like a weird sort of food chain that works out for a lot of people outside of, like anyone in between incredibly insane and incredibly comfortable. You're pretty much screwed. Like any grounder, you're screwed over. The 100, they're in a weird in between balance. Like they're, I guess, because they're not exactly the grounders. They're a little bit okay if they get pulled into the bunker, like Monty, Jasper, and Clarke, and the other random people. But everyone else is in a really dangerous zone, and even the Reapers aren't strong enough. I mean, these guys have guns, so I wouldn't expect them to be. But even the Reapers were taken down, and I don't know what they were injecting, but it's something to keep them docile. So I don't know what's going on there, but I can't wait to get more secrets on that. And then we got a lot of other cool stuff where we get to see the stuff with Octavia and her kind of trying to find Lincoln throughout this episode, and she kind of continuously suffered because she couldn't find Lincoln, and she didn't find him at the end of this episode, and she's just like depressed right now. And I think they're gonna take that storyline back to when she was at the I guess the riverbank, and she randomly saw someone who's disfigured. I feel like that storyline is gonna come into play because she'll have no idea where to go, and she's kind of off on her own because the grounders didn't kill her in this one, but they aren't exactly just going to be like, hey, join us just because she helped kill a guy in this episode. So I think they're going to play that route with possibly next week's episode if they continue with like her storyline. But I enjoyed what they did with her. We got to actually see her fight, and she was kind of on her own, really, and that was cool. How the grounders were sort of in that little valley, and she was sort of up on the hill, and she was falling behind them. The main woman knew that she was there, but the other people didn't. So it was kind of cool. I enjoyed seeing her have these skills that Lincoln taught her, and she actually was able to use them. And she helped fight, and she proved that she was a warrior, and that's why she was left alive. So I enjoyed that. It was a small portion of hers, and they kind of just led to like, here's where Lincoln is. So that's kind of how they did that storyline, which I thought was pretty well done. And unfortunately, she's just gonna kind of be lost. I don't know how they're gonna get these characters because there are so few people that know about this bunker, and outside of Clarke, everyone that's in the bunker stays in the bunker. So I can't wait to see them sort of blend all the storylines together, because everyone who wasn't taken to the bunker is just scattered. Like no one knows where they are. They're either at the camp or they're with Bellamy and Finn, and odds are that's who it is, because it seems like it's only the 5 people who's Bellamy, Finn, Murphy, and then like the 2 other people who may have had their names mentioned once or twice, but it's them, and then just the couple of people that are out there that are scattered, and then Raven back at the camp because she's injured. But that's really it, and no one knows what's happening with everyone else. So I kind of like that separated storyline, but I really can't wait until they blend them all together. And who knows how long that'll take, because Clarke gets knocked out at the end by Anya, and it's like, you killed 300 of my men, I gotta take you in as a prize. And then in the preview, it basically gets reversed, and Clarke's like, I guess you're my prisoner now. So I still don't know how that's gonna play out, but I'm excited to see it. The stuff with Finn in this episode was pretty crazy. He's really losing it, and it's just him having feelings for Clarke, and it's just like, I don't know how that's really gonna work out with him once he actually gets to her. But for now, he's kind of just going nuts. He kills the one guy. It's like, I don't give a crap. I need to find this girl because, I guess he loves her. I don't really know. It's just that love triangle crap. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I'm not too concerned about it either, but it makes him very crazy in this episode. And I don't know if they're being led into a trap. I have to assume they are, because this guy doesn't freaking know what the heck's happening. I know that he knows his people, the Grounders, didn't take him, unless it's some of the other random people that we haven't seen this season. And I don't think there are. I think we saw pretty much every character that's been given a main focus and a name has been seen in this season so far. We got Clarke, of course. We got Finn, Monty, Jasper, Bellamy, Raven, Octavia. So unless they just have more random people at the grounded camp, we have 5 people just walking straight into a trap, which it's going to lead to someone being dead. Most likely the 2 people that we don't really give a crap about, let's be honest. They're probably going to get killed if it really is a trap. And even if it's not, and they do have a couple of people there, it's going to be a bit of a firefight. So I'm excited for that. And Finn being in this sort of state of mind, he's not exactly the most focused person right now, and he's not making the best judgments because Bellamy had this decision: we're not going to kill this guy, we'll deal with it after. And granted, everyone did have reasons. I mean, Murphy was right. Like, he could easily escape and he could get out. There are other options. They could have taken him with them or stuff like that. But it was just the back and forth, like, yes and no. And then Finn just made that decision. Like, he's done. Let's keep going. So, him in this state of mind isn't exactly safe for anyone around him because he's got tunnel vision. He wants to save Clarke, and that's pretty much it. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play that storyline for his character and how long they keep him that way, because I'm sure once he gets to Clarke, he'll kind of die down, and then it'll be like an emotional thing with Clarke, and she'll talk to him about how he kind of just went nuts and was killing people and wasn't thinking too straight. But I'm excited to see how they play that. The stuff at Camp Jaha was definitely really good. It was really interesting to see Kane go through this change just in one episode. He went back to his old self from season 1 and realized this is kind of messed up. I can't be doing stupid stuff like this. We're not on the Ark. It's not like strict rules anymore. We're on Earth. We made it back to what we've been seeking for almost 100 years. Things need to change and things need to be good. And it was just great to see that in one episode. He did a pretty bad thing, making an example out of Abby to sort of keep everyone, in their positions. And then it's like, you know what? I really messed up. I want you to be Chancellor, and I'm going to go look for our people. And while I'm gone, I want you to basically rebuild what little bit I've broken of your image, because it was just a power play, really. And giving, basically leaving the camp and telling her, I kind of suck as a leader, I can't be the Chancellor, was really good, and it's going to make her an even better character. Like, I love her character. She's, of course, like, the best adult in the show, outside of Jaha. Like, I really like him, but she's the one where it's, like, she was the person who was allowed to be very moral without having the repercussions of being the leader, and that always kind of makes you the best character, because it's like you get to be, at least as far as for viewers and for me personally, of course, it makes that character the good person. And Jaha's a good person too, of course, but it's just, he's put into those situations where he's forced to make leader decisions, and Abby never really was. She was always able to go against those decisions and say, hey, we can not, shoot this person out of an airlock or something, because she wasn't 100% in charge, but she could say things because she had power. So it's great that now that they're on Earth, she can be in 100% power without having to make these incredibly difficult arc-type choices, because they're on Earth now. So I really love that. I think everything about the episode was definitely great. I'm excited for next week for sure, because we get to see Jaha. Like, it ended, initially I thought that was a part of the episode they kind of just cut and went straight to a scene of Jaha, but sadly it was only for the preview. He gets rescued. He's still in, like, the desert-based area. I believe it was New York. And that, I just want to see what the heck happens with him, how far he gets to the rest of the people, what, the other grounders where he is might have to say about the Ark and how things fell from the sky and all that stuff. I'm really excited for that, as well as everything that happens, like, everything that was kind of introduced in this episode and how everything ended as far as the storylines. I'm excited to see where they go. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought about this one. I know I did a pretty long review on this. I don't think I've done one that was like 13 minutes in a long time. But comment below, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what, as far as all these different little storylines, which one is your favorite? Because we got to see Kane kind of give up being Chancellor because he knew it was bad. We saw Lincoln get taken in by the Mountain Men, and now he's going to be in some weird Cerberus program, which for some reason made me think of Resident Evil, like Nemesis, I don't know. But we got that. We got Anya and Clarke, who one of them is going to be the prisoner. I don't know. They introduced that Clarke would be the prisoner, and then in the preview they reversed it. So I think they did that for a reason. But which little storyline that we've had in this episode so far has you most excited for next week's episode? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.